Hi there, it's JB here from Rust. We're at Circuit Albertoni in northern Italy, and we're here to test these, which is the 2022 Fantic Enduro range. And it's been a hot day, but highly enjoyable, and lots to enjoy with these bikes. We have the three in the range here. There's a 450 4-stroke, 250 4-stroke, and over there there's a 125 2-stroke. The news with these is Fantic have, if you like, taken the Yamaha base for each, which is the WR450, WR250 and YZ125, and worked their own magic on them, using sort of thinner parts, aero parts, stuff that's come from specialist suppliers that are in this area in Veneto. So they're using a lot of Italian magic on what is already an excellent bike, and as you can imagine, the feedback is excellent. The one I'm sitting next to, or standing next to, is of course the 250, which everybody's going to love. You can't not love this bike. The WR250F is well proven. It's a great bike. It's plenty plucky, and it's still that. You know, as a Fantic, they've added a few bits. The aero pipe is rather nice. It's a bit like having that upgrade of having the race pipe on your Yamaha from a Kropovich that you don't get as standard, but it's standard on this. And there's a few other updates, and they've been working on the mapping, and you'll see just little items that are just a little bit trick. Still got the excellent Kai Arbor suspension. Very pleased to see that. The 250 is lovely, plenty fast. It caught me out a couple of times this morning. I was really impressed. It's often seen as just a clubman bike, but there's a lot of power in this bike. And as we know, the engine's based on the YZ250F, so it has that 40-45 horsepower potential. It's not going to be lacking. So it's every bike you need. However, what's really good news here today is the XE125 based on the YZ125, which has proven to be spectacular around this track. What we like is, I think Fantic have worked really hard on sort of like the mid-range delivery. So you can actually ride it quite lazy, which is ridiculous for a 125, but I found through the grass test that we got here, you could leave it in third gear and it would pull from nothing all the way through. And likewise on hills where sometimes a 125 is really picky, you've got to get it right or you don't get up there. This one's a lot more flexible. It can pull, it's got torque. And what I really like, I've always loved the YZ125. You know, this frame came to us in about 2005. I mean, it's ancient history in some respects, but it's always been right. It's got a lovely mid-range handling package. It doesn't turn fast, but it doesn't turn slow. It turns at the rate of our brain, if you like. It's perfectly matched to us. And it's also full size. A lot of 125s are a smaller chassis, if you like, than the 250s. And for big guys, 6 foot plus, that can be a disadvantage. You can't ride them comfortably, but this one you can. The one that maybe a lot of people will struggle with is the 450, which I've got to say is delightful. It is a lovely bike, but it is a monster. And you can ride it, but boy, one day it's going to bite you so bad because it's got so much power. It is unfeasibly powerful. It must be 60 horsepower or something, and when that gets loose, which you can get a bit of whiskey throttle on, you're on for a super wild ride. But it hasn't bitten me today. I've got to say, I've done about 3-4 laps around the enduro track and it's been fine. And actually you can again be lazy, leave it in sort of second gear and just let the low rev do the job for you, and it'll find a way through the woods. If you fight it, of course you're going to lose because it's too big a bike. But if you can find that magic sweet spot and just let it do the work for you, it is great. But you do need fitness. There's no way you can ride 450 on sort of noodle arms like this for however many hours it's going to be, 3 hours. It's not going to work. But if you want big dog bragging rights, have the ultimate bike in the paddock, it's got to be that, because it's just a stonking engine. And actually the chassis and everything works really well. It's a great ride. So altogether, I've got to say, Fantic have really impressed this weekend. These are comparable to anything that's in the paddock, and for that you've got to applaud them. It's a great idea. And whilst you might want to say it's just a Yamaha dressed up, it's Yamaha with Italian panache, with Italian understanding of enduro. So for European riders, it speaks to us, and for that I'm really impressed. So I think I can stop talking now. I think you've got the impression. I'll try and write some really nice words for you. So enjoy, and yeah, we'll be back soon and enjoying life. So ciao for now, and yeah, keep reading Rust.